Good afternoon, good evening, or whenever you happen to be listening or watching. Welcome to the Kickoff, a presentation of the W2M Network online at W2Mnet.com. Yes, do not adjust your devices. Do not adjust your screens. You are not hearing the voice of reason tonight. Harry Broadhurst, he is out on assignment. He will be back next week, along with the particular key segment that we've been introducing. However, in your stead, your quasi-fearless leader, the anchorman, stay classy W2M, I'm Eric Watkins, and naturally, if you can't tell by now, I am not alone. I have by my side, as always, the locksmith herself, Kennedy Eddings.
That threw me off because I'm usually third, so now I'm actually happy to be involved tonight.
See, we got things different. And someone gladly returning the favor, begging to be back on camera on this network, even though he served his time quite well. The door was open. The pinch hitter, the run-in, the Riz himself, Randy Isbell, coming back.
I've just learned I can't leave this damn network. I've left twice now, and here I am back, just part-time for right now. But listen, you make a surprise cameo, and then all of the fans want you back. So here I am. And by all the fans, I mean Eric. Eric asked me to come back the next day.
Well, I mean, that not to mention, you heard all the things that Kennedy was saying about your face last time.
It was a surprising face.
I have a surprising face? I missed all of this. I jumped in, jumped out. I missed all the fun, apparently.
Surprising face.
Yeah, there were a few things said. Thankfully, all good, at least for the most part.
On camera, always good. Once we got off camera, the real story came out.
I mean, as a wise man once said, it do be facts, though. So, as usual with the three of us, so we start things off with studs and duds. Now, even though he is not here, Harry did go ahead and make his picks, and for his stud, he is giving credit to the Las Vegas Raiders. Huge primetime win to start the season, following it up with a win in Pittsburgh, going off to a 2-0 start, and he admitted himself, maybe he was a little bit rash to fire Gruden, but I say to myself, we kind of seen this before. Let's start worry once we get into Thanksgiving and closer to that, see if they can keep them up. But for now, 2-0 is 2-0. Not going to deny that whatsoever. So he picked the right stud for this week.
It's not even just 2-0. It's 2-0 against two teams that a lot of people thought were going to make the playoffs this year. And yes, the Monday night game might have been looked at as a little fluky, and they were down most of the game and made a great comeback. But I felt on Sunday they dominated Pittsburgh. I mean, the Steelers themselves have their own issues and still cannot get their running game going, even with Najee Harris. But you can't take that away from the Raiders. And honestly, Derek Carr, who is putting up ridiculous numbers, and it is weird to say, and obviously, friend of the show, Robert Taylor, will fully disagree with me, but you start to wonder, I mean, we're only 2 weeks in, so don't overreact, but is the AFC West completely up for grabs between the Raiders, the Broncos even, the Chargers, and of course the Chiefs? I mean, all of a sudden, all four teams are pretty good.
We don't need to talk about the Broncos yet. No. So what's this doing here? Anyways,
oh, no.
I digress.
Oh, no.
Kennedy, your stud?
Man, I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it because of fantasy reasons. But Aaron Jones, man, damn. I don't know what he ate that morning. I don't know what he ingested that morning. I don't know what he did before he played his game, but that's just good is the only thing you can say. Amazing, fantastic. He played some fucking football, man.
4 combined touchdowns against Detroit, and He even, thanks to a trainer scouring the field
Mhm.
until 2 a.m., found the necklace that he lost that contained his father's ashes.
Oh,
I'm telling
that
you,
broke my
that
heart.
is just destiny.
And honestly, I loved Aaron Jones's response before it was found. He's like, "Listen, they're going to go out and look for it, but if they lose it, at least it's Lambeau Field." So that is
Because that's where my dad
perfect,
would want to be, and I was like,
right?
oh
It
my
was really really good. Listen, my Twitter best friend Aaron Jones had a fantastic game. They freed him once again in Green Bay, so I was very very happy for that.
Oh, speaking of running backs, I may have a little bit of experience with this one once or twice. Highlights that shall not be mentioned. Randy,
Mhm.
your stud.
I wrote this out before the Monday night game, or I would have taken Aaron Jones, but I had got to bring up Derrick Henry. Obviously, somebody that lives in the Pacific Northwest and has to deal with annoying Seahawks fans. Derrick Henry was my hero on Sunday, as he, what was it, 7 straight home victory openers for the Seahawks that he single handedly ruined. I told the story on the show last night on the R&R Sports Report about uh, in one of my fantasy matchups. It was really close, and I had AJ Brown, and they got within the 5, and I had that split second of, oh, they could do a fade pass to Brown, I could win. I was like, no, they're running. They're at 100% running the ball, which is the right decision, especially against Seattle, who knows all too well that you do not throw the ball at the goal line with one of your stud running backs. But no, Henry. I've said for years that I thought he was going to wear down, that the Titans use him too much. I give up. I 100% give up. The man is unstoppable. He's not going to slow down, and he could do this till he's 90. Apparently, he's just too good.
No, don't. I mean, maybe if he gives up or slows down a little bit, Tennessee can maybe be convinced to trade him where he belongs, where he played his high school ball, where we could use a running back. Oh, geez, sorry. Yeah. Again, digress.
I finally get why you so.
You'll find out. You'll find out. Just trust me on this one. But to cool off and prepare for the salt, my stud, also a running back, but going to the college game this time. For all the talk that's been about Michigan, all the talk about their offensive identity, Blake Corum for the Wolverines, Jim Harbaugh was like, you know what? We've got some different weapons. We're going to run the ball. Had well over 100 yards, a 3-touchdown game himself. Huge win to at least make things interesting before we get into the meat of the Big Ten season.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that and I'm like, he is definitely, even though there's been a treasure trove of running backs this week, he is my stud. Now, speaking of college ball, flipping the script to our duds of the week, we mentioned a long time that there were miles to go in Lawrence, Kansas, and it's not quite basketball season yet, as Harry rightfully pointed out. Things are going right back to normal, as they should be. Kansas got the doors blown off by Baylor. Helps me be a little bit more confident in one of my picks coming up. Hashtag deep tease. So, even with all of this mess with the Big 12, the one thing that never changes, Kansas is always going to be just there.
And being just there is an overstatement sometimes.
I mean, given some of their marquee losses, you're not entirely wrong. Boy, Kennedy, you're done of the week.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to ask me about that. I was like, I have nothing substantial to contribute.
Yeah. We're getting to your love of a college later on in the show.
Who's my dad? Tyreek Hill. What was it? 4 catches for like fucking 11 yards. 4 runsies for like 11 yards or some shit.
So yes, whether that's going to be a new NFL statistic, runsies. Tell that to Sleeper and everybody as they're compiling fantasy stats.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. You already know how I feel about Kansas City just because, but fuck his runsies. They didn't matter anyways. I didn't need them. No, that was just trash. And I get they have a lot of weapons, but there's no reason that he should have just been shitted on the way he was.
Robert Taylor, we hope you're going to be seeing this. By the way, we're just throwing that out there. You know, it's all good.
Not being part of that chat anymore, it's gotten really quiet during football season.
Trust me, it was actually still a pretty quiet week even this week, so you wouldn't have missed much.
I'm not saying I miss it. I'm just saying it's quiet on Sundays.
Oh, Randy, your dud of the week.
My dud is somebody that could have been classified as a stud last week, and that's Jameis Winston. I was like, just welcome back, old school Jameis Winston. And that was her stud of the week last week, I think. Just not there. I give credit to Carolina's defense.
Fault. Did you hear about who was doing all this stuff? Did you hear the fuckery that was going on the Saints sideline? Their second or third string quarterback was running substitutions. They were out like 7 coaches or some shit.
Well,
they had
like a lot of defensive stuff. But
8.
Still, he only throws it 22 times. Yeah, the I get why they lost 100%, but again, don't throw those 2 interceptions. I mean, I get why Carolina won. That front 4 for Carolina might be the best in the game. It's just a fantastic defense for the Panthers. It's just, which Jameis are we going to get the rest of the year? The one that had 4 months to prepare for one team, or the one that got thrown to the fire and went, oh no, forget how to play football again? It'll be interesting to see the rest of the year.
I think we should have Taysom as quarterback, but I digress.
Again, I heard, this rendering of a gigantic panther up in Charlotte, but still no reports of gold dust on the benches. So, I don't know, Ken. It's what you were saying about him and his ass. It's not adding up. I don't know.
I don't know what you guys are about. The only gold dust I know of now works for AEW, so
no,
Harry's not here to understand that reference, which is sad. But
is the first episode? Yeah, I said that Taysom Hill has an ass of gold.
That is a take that Harry. That's a take that Harry or Eric would not have on this show. So that's why you're here.
That was why I'm here.
Jason might have had that take back in the day.
Yeah, well,
I'm proud. I popped Eric one time on the show on my return. It's been a good return.
See, just when you think you're out, you do stuff like this, and we pull you back in.
That's what she said. Sorry.
That's why I have 2 kids.
I mean, anyways, I promised myself that I wouldn't do it this time. Already got stuff going. I can't family show myself. That would just be way too weird. So, you know what?
Off the rails. I love it.
Wait, Randy, have you been gone that long? You need to realize we don't have rails anymore.
No, listen, I know you told me before the show you got busy and couldn't watch our show on Tuesday. Robert and I brought up my appearance here today and multiple times saying, just because the Kickoff says they're a family show, it's not. It's not a family show. So just be warned if you want to watch me on the show. It's a little different than what we do for a college radio show.
And
fuck that hurt.
To be fair, last week in particular, it wasn't my fault. Not my fault whatsoever.
I don't know. I'm always drunk. I don't remember what I say when I do this.
Oh, well, there's video evidence of it, and thankfully, you can watch last week's episode and all the ones this season on YouTube, as well as in the Twitch archives as well. So, right
Nope, I
there for
remember.
the taking.
I remember. Fuck that. That hurt.
So now that we've all composed and Ken's over here hasn't died, to wrap up the segment, my stud of the week. Now, this had a couple of different implications in the standings for Are You Serious and I'm a Survivor. So this kind of played both ways, but I'm still going to call him out. Dexter Lawrence, you pretty much had one job.
Didn't you mean dud? Because you totally said stud.
Yeah, I said S and then dud. Kind of a different thing, and that's what it sounded like because, well, the English language and pronunciation is funny. But I know what I said.
Okay.
You had one job. If you had done that one job, you'd be going home with a win. The football team wouldn't have had this heroic game-winning field goal and yada, yada, yada. You would have been just fine. But no. You mess up that one time. It gives Washington another chance from 5 yards in. They hit it. You see the penalty from the sky cam over and over. Come on. You know better. You just know better. Really.
Washington's win won me my spread at work, so I'm cool with it.
Like I said, I know there was a bunch of implications. And we're going to get to, oh, Jesus.
I've never loved a penalty more in my whole life.
So, that wraps up the studs and duds. And we, thankfully, eagerly, for my part, move on to, so, that happened. Now, we have said many times here on the network, of gimmick infringement as a W2M exclusive. It is welcome, tolerated within the bounds of the network. So in looking over everything, naturally Harry, not being here, stole my thunder. Because down at Caesar Superdome, the roof was on fire. Literally. I first got the notice of this on Twitter and in one of my Discord channels, this tweet is saying, oh yeah, the roof of the Superdome is on fire. And I was like, well, huh? Turns out there was a particular part of that structure, was that part of the roof, that somehow, still not sure how, going to look for updated reports, caught fire. And you could see through all the news cam pictures and everything, and with the Saints now just a week away from finally coming back home, not really the best of signs. I mean, we had the whole situation with the old Metrodome in Minnesota with the snow caving in and all these things. I mean, yes, it's still a decent facility. It is aging a little bit, getting up there, but is it time to at least consider some different renovations, especially with everything that building is going through? Or would you have the dreaded conversation about maybe scrapping and building something new?
I don't know if renovations will work. Probably scrap and do something new, but it obviously structure-wise, it's very difficult down there in New Orleans because of all the hurricanes that they go through, and even obviously the Superdome has done a great job as being like a center hub as far as hurricane relief and everything, but it gets damaged. But on the positive side, the Saints are very, very good at relocating already, so I don't think they're worried about their roof catching on fire. They'll just go play anywhere else and win.
I wasn't laughing at I wasn't laughing at the fact that they get hit with hurricanes all the time. But you were talking about structuring, and I went, "You've taken gold dust to build your building, and then nothing's going to happen to it."
But I mean, what does Jason have enough? I'm like, can you go ahead and like smack him or something to mine for the gold dust? How does that work? I mean, granted, again, after last week, we know we have to walk a fine line in saying this. We don't want to.
As he's running for touchdown, someone's just behind him with a bowl. I'll reel it back in eventually.
No. There's no real need. I mean, who knows? With all of this, I might be able to get our quote and our episode title for this week. So at least I'm trying for that.
I get it. And then we'll get our quote.
Well, hey, I mean, we're all trying here, so I figure one of these days. But while you were still at least mildly sober, you have anything for us, Kens?
For what?
For So That Happened, your interesting news bit of the week?
I don't think so. And I was looking at our document, and I was thinking about this. I really don't think I have anything.
Thinking about getting the gold dust, huh?
I saw, and I don't know if this was old or not, so I don't want to officially use it because I might be stupid, but there was a video, I think of a Saints player that just decked a Bears player. I think it's old. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's old.
Well,
I won't say how old, so you don't.
Is it super old?
It's a couple years old.
It surfaced, but it was just hella funny. So in my brain, that happened.
Here, I use Kennedy's So That Happened so we can talk about Conor McGregor's first pitch. I mean, it's not a kickoff deal. It's not football, but that was horrible.
Horrible.
Okay, I did not see this first pitch. Are we talking 50 Cent level bad?
It
didn't it just go
worse.
Because
at least 50 Cent, if I remember right, 50 Cent just went into the ground, right? I get all the bad.
Way was it his that went 30 feet wide of the plate?
Conor might have beat him.
Which I'll defend it because just because you're an athlete doesn't mean you're good at things. He may have never thrown a baseball in his life.
But you practice.
Why? It's Conor McGregor.
Practice.
It's Conor McGregor. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he would spend less time punching people in bars about whiskey, but I digress.
That man is the definition of on-site.
I'll share it.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah. Yes, you see
he has to allow me to, but because I'm not running.
We're so fancy.
Yes, you see the little share button at the bottom of the screen?
Don't let her know that. That's dangerous.
Oh, man.
All right. So, for those that are just listening, we're going to watch the Conor's first pitch. Eric's first time watching this. Here you go.
Okay. Full suit. What the ever-living shit was that?
It almost didn't even hit the backstop. It just...
Okay.
He released that so early.
I mean, okay. And
he had the power.
This. First of all, I get that he's Irish. I understand. But at least those fuckers know cricket. That wasn't even a good full toss.
No. Does he know cricket?
That would have been, I would have signaled a wide all day, and that would have been 5 runs. Good, sweet Jesus.
We all know,
Randy, the plan is to still teach you and Harry cricket at some point.
We all know that Eric understands what a crumpet is, so he knows what cricket is.
Okay, but
if anybody gets that reference, you're old
like me. Why does Conor McGregor know cricket, though?
Because he's from Europe.
Especially Ireland. Ireland, not so much specifically by themselves, but I mean,
I don't associate cricket with Ireland.
Well, they're actually, would you say, I'd say mid-level tier 1 nation. Yes, they're not England, they're not Australia. Think more along the lines of the level of New Zealand or right below the West Indies. But again, I digress entirely.
I feel like it's going to be a long episode mentally.
Well, I mean, we've been through that before. As long as you're not saying that after an hour and 7 minutes, it's a 3-hour show, unlike someone we know, you'll be A-OK.
Really
while falling asleep under the table. Yeah, I remember that show.
I was smoking that day.
Oh, Randy, so that happened.
Yeah, let me bring up more Northwest stuff, and the Big Sky happened. And it's not even just a week thing. It's happened all year long. I think teams that are going to look out for cupcakes in college football are just going to avoid the big sky, except for Idaho, because Idaho is garbage. And they've got completely crushed by Indiana and Oregon State the last 2 weeks. But Northern Arizona becoming the next big sky team to beat a Power 5 conference team as they beat Arizona 21-19, though I think Arizona is now competing with Kansas as the worst college football team in the land.
They're getting there. They're not quite on Ryan McGee's bottom 10 yet, but I think they're going to make an appearance.
After this week, absolutely. But they join UC Davis, who beat Tulsa. They join Eastern Washington, who crushed UNLV a couple weeks ago. Dare we forget Montana upsetting Washington, who had playoff hopes. And now Northern Arizona beating Arizona. The Big Sky has been fantastic.
I'm telling you, you said it yourself. Again, Idaho aside, because they dropped down to the FCS level, but a lot of these teams are like, you know what? What do we got to lose? We know we can hang. We've seen some other FCS teams hang. Let's do this too. Let's get our money, get a dub, and help ourselves, and we be out.
Absolutely.
You would think.
We've talked about, I mean, obviously, and Eric, you have talked about it on your Soccer to the Max show, but people always want to try to get relegation into American sports. College football is perfect. Let's move some Big Sky teams up. Let's drop Arizona. They're garbage. Let's go.
Fuck Arizona.
I saw one system that had a whole big promotion relegation going all the way down to teams in Division 3 and how they would line up. It's like 7 tiers. It would be insane, but
the college system right now is insane.
So if you're the NCAA, you're Mark Emmert, or you're even the Power 5 with all the stuff you're trying to do. Why not? Why not? Make yourself a little bit more money.
Go crazy with it. And while we're going crazy, let's put the AFL playoff system in for the NFL, please.
I mean, I don't know. Kennedy would appreciate her Bills having to play an extra game, but at least for the time being, it wouldn't matter for either of us.
It's only an extra game if you lost your first game.
True.
If you lost your first game.
Well, no, the AFL system. I'll let you know. So that it would be 8 teams instead of 7 right now. So you'd have 4 division winners, 4 wild card winners. But that first round, all 4 division winners would play each other, and the winner would get a bye that next week and move right on to what would be the AFC or NFC championship game.
Okay.
And then whoever lost that would then move down and have to play the winner of whoever won in the wild card games. So we get way better matches the first week.
Well,
or there's an extra round in there. There's one extra round in there. So it'd be
so if you have 8 teams, so that first weekend, your top 4 winners will move on. It wouldn't be to the AFC.
No, you're right. It would be whatever they would call the divisional round or whatever.
Exactly. Then the losers would go ahead and have those home games in the second week. Then they would move on to the divisional round, and then those teams would move on to the AFC championship game.
But still, we would have a chance to get, say, a Buffalo, Kansas City twice in a playoffs. It would be great. We could get Tampa Bay and the Rams twice, because if you face each other that first round, one wins, gets the bye, and moves over to the other side. The other team runs the table. You can do it again.
God, I hate Tom Brady. He mouth kisses his children, and they're like 15.
Actually, no. Jack only just turned 14, and when that happened, he was like 12.
Excuse me. So sorry. Fuck Tom Brady.
See, folks, at least I'm not the only one bringing a little bit of salt tonight. I feel vindicated. Very vindicated.
He just needs to stop. Just stop.
He's never going to. He's going to play 50.
I would never work
after this season. He's on one of my fantasy teams.
No. Fuck it. He's on one of mine too, which really sucks. But you're done. Just be fucking done. You're the greatest. You're the greatest. And I don't want to say that, but fucking quit. I'm so sick of his name, his face, And I saw a video, and someone was like, "Everyone says you're their hero, but who's your hero?" And he goes, "My dad." And he starts like choking up. I don't know if his dad's dead or anything. And I don't mean that insensitively, but like I don't know if his dad like died or some shit. But he's like, "My dad," and I was like, fuck, I felt feelings for Tom Brady. He's gotta fucking go. Fuck Tom Brady and his maybe dead dad.
Okay, so note yourself. Find Tom Brady's Twitter handle, cut that clip, post it to him, and we'll see what happens. I mean, he's a man who loves bulletin board material and things like that. Maybe you'll be the subject of one of his movies for 199 Productions. I don't know. I just want to be on set when it happens.
Punch him right in his belly button.
It's very specific.
I'm only 5'3".
There it is. Punch him right in the belly button. We've done it. There's the episode title. I knew it was going to happen at some point.
Just gotta give me more vodka and we get it.
Oh, so it is one of those nights. So
I have reusable ice cubes. They're fantastic.
Well, Randy, before she gets fully white girl wasted, because I know that's going to happen at some point, let me wrap this up with my So That Happened. We're going to talk a little bit more about rivalries as we come on to later in this show and pour one out for the homers. Well, there was another unique sort of in-state rivalry that caught a little extra attention. Harry and I, when we were going through Are You Serious, we were debating picking the Purdue Notre Dame game. Purdue +7 looked mighty great at the time. We both were ecstatic that we wound up not picking that game, but the eventual Irish blowout wasn't even the big headline. For those that know Purdue football, and if you've seen games, you know their gigantic 10-foot drum that they have on the sidelines for their traveling students, motivating the team with the band, all of that. They have not had a game without that drum being there in the stadium, home or away, since 1979. That is until Saturday. Because of renovations at Notre Dame Stadium, the visitors' tunnel was too small to allow the drum to get through. So rather than being the Irish being good and sporting and saying, you know what, take it through the home team tunnel, we'll find a way to make it work, we don't mind, Notre Dame puts themselves in honorary Dick of the Week contention by not allowing the drum at all.
Oh, I forgot about Dick of the Week. I gotta do some research. I forgot.
Oh, trust me, there's plenty of time. Plenty of time. You go out to the aubergine farm. Yes, aubergine. Then you'll find a good one. But I mean, really, Notre Dame? I mean, a lot of the times I think you're kind of assholes anyway, so this helps if you're going with that track. Anybody offering any particular thoughts? I mean, I know Rainey in particular, you're saying about that.
No, honestly, it's okay. I like the rivalry with it and not letting them have the drum. Yes, it's their thing. But listen, if you can't fit it through our tunnel and you don't want to pay for a helicopter to bring it down, then you don't get it. Or you have to go put it outside.
Why the hell would you helicopter a...
No.
Okay, why the hell would you helicopter a giant drum into the stadium?
Do you want it or not? That's the question. Do you want the drum bad enough?
Apparently not. 40 years worth of tradition doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So.
Almost 45. Think about that.
And hey,
math is not my strong suit. I feel like you know this.
You brought it up earlier. The Carolina Panthers have their giant panther jumping around the stadium. You could digitally CGI in a big drum.
But how are you going to actually bang the thing on the sidelines in big
sound effects? I don't know.
Look, as someone who knows about banging and things being digital, it's not right. It's not the
I
same.
I hate that I walked right into that. I should have known.
Come on now.
I burnt the roof of my mouth on buffalo fries earlier. That's why I keep doing ugly faces. It hurts really bad.
Well, I mean, that actually brings to what would normally be a more lengthier part of the show. I've got a question. I have two for you.
Did I just segue myself? Did I
Yes,
do it?
as Harry would say, segue.
Never
I have
done it.
two questions for you in particular. Is the vodka helping? And are you sure you weren't scared this time when this vodka was being brought in?
It's helping, but I don't know what it's mixed with. And I kept an ear hole out so I could hear the door open this time because I texted them and asked me to bring me a drink. So I was mentally prepared this time.
She's learning.
I'm learning.
Slowly, but she's learning. But we here will take progress no matter how much or how little. Now, fans, do not worry. As I've mentioned, Harry will be back next week. He's already got something intriguing lined up for a proper I've Got a Question, but I could not take the opportunity, let that slide, and have a nice little bit. However, after the incident with the buffalo fries, you could say, I'm a survivor.
For real. Top of my mouth hurts so bad. You know the floppy skin, and then you're like, fuck, and then you're like, until it comes off.
I've actually burnt that part before, so I do know how that feels.
Oh, the air. Crispy. It's crispy.
Part of me wants to, but again, no. Especially since for some reason, I'm still the sober one. Why? I don't know. But,
Don't put me in that cast. Like I'm not the sober one in this group.
okay,
I will put myself in that cast. I am not the
normally
sober.
sober on a regular basis. For me, it's 50-50. For Kennedy, it's a little less than 50-50.
9-10 over here. But speaking of I'm a survivor, I just want to say I'm a bad bitch when it comes to this game, man. I can't be touched for now. Until I fuck up.
Yeah, hey Mortons, you know, we here on the Kickoff cannot be bought, but we damn sure can be rented, and I'm sure you and both of your fine qualities of soul would come in real fucking handy right now. So, with the I'm a Survivor leaderboard, as it were, Harry, who is naturally very good at this, off to a
Do we count college?
Well, no, for I'm a Survivor, we don't. That's different. We get
Dude,
to
I'm
that.
never gonna
Are
get
you
it.
serious?
Get
Harry,
confused.
off to a very strong start. A good call against Randy's Jets in week 1 with Carolina. Following that up with some low-hanging fruit in Tampa Bay. He's now at 2 in a row. Picking a little bit more low-hanging fruit as his choice, Baltimore playing against the Detroit Lions. 2 drastically different outcomes into drastically different primetime games this week. A very solid choice, as he does, especially early in the season. So I like his chances of making that 3. Kennedy, this I can't be stopped. You and I don't know half of the stuff of what I'm doing. I swear, you're a bandit. Yeah, Morton's. Yeah. This, you're going to be a thing.
Can't be stopped.
You also stand at 2 in a row with whatever voodoo strategery fuckery you've got going on. It's working. You got Cincinnati right in week 1, which cost me money because I was rooting for a tie. Then you followed that up with that miracle with Washington last week. That said, who you got this week?
Giants. Giants.
It took you a second there, didn't it?
The brain power is not at 50 today.
Well, I mean, another solid choice given the Falcons are, well, the Atlanta Falcons, especially this season, what they have failed to do horribly so far, especially on defense. So, yeah, leaving me by myself. Jacksonville, I can understand.
I was going to say you're going to pick your sorry ass Jags again, but.
Pittsburgh. I should have known. Now, I mean, for a brief bit, if anyone wants to go ahead and hashtag bet on Bovada, you might want to go ahead, given my early run to the season, whatever team I pick, fade them horribly. Money line, maybe even the spread if you have a good enough odds. I mean, Panthers fans, I'm sorry in advance, but I swear, if you lose to Davis fucking Mills after what you've done, there may not be hope for you.
Bro, I'm sorry. I said it in my head, so I have to say it out loud. You just cursed McCaffrey.
Did you not? No! That wasn't supposed to enter the lexicon. He's on my basketball team. He will do just fine. He will do absolutely great. He will have a fantastic day, all sorts of things. Run CMC. Do not worry, because as I call my basketball team, KMC, I do best ball right. I'm hanging in there. I've already got nearly 700 points. Things are fine. Things are fine. Aren't they, Randy? Things are fine.
Home team at Thursday night. Beware the third string quarterback. I don't know. That's all I got.
You know, Randy, we got to talk about these sorts of things. I asked you to come in, be the pinch hitter, and I would think, after all the good things that I've done and brought to the table in R&R Sports Report, if you return the favor, you would help me out a little bit.
Listen, you're 0-2, man. I can't. There's no helping you in the Survivor picks if you can't get one.
Nerd.
Just because I'm wearing glasses. Jeez.
Not you.
and all of the video games you can't see because of the way it's cut off. But
see, this is what happens. I mean, again, the things that she said about your face, what we got off camera. But hopefully, I finally get off the schneid.
I wish you luck. Listen, honestly, I wish you luck. I have Houston as my loser pick in a different pool. So how are you doing in said loser pool? Almost as bad as you. I got a victory in the first week. I think it was the Raiders that I picked to lose and they won. Or no, that I was wrong because I made fun of Kennedy because I picked Buffalo to beat. Buffalo was supposed to win something. Yeah, Buffalo was supposed to beat Pittsburgh, so I picked Pittsburgh. That's what it was. Last week, I only got it right because of, was it Minnesota that missed a field goal? Yeah, I had Minnesota as my loser pick, so they lost because of the field goal that they should have made. So I should be 2-0 in my loser pool.
I feel like it hurts way more to lose in the losers pool than it is to lose in like a Survivor.
And it happens to me in the first 3 weeks every year. And you almost have to go undefeated in this league, or winless, I guess, in this league to have any chance at the money. And within 3 weeks, I'm out. It's just
I hear a lot of excuses.
I'm just bad at it. I'm totally bad. There was actually one year, and Robert I know is going to listen to this when we post it because he wanted to listen to it live, but we're not live. There was one year I got 2 straight wins, like week 3 and 4. I sent him the rest of my picks the rest of the year. So just there, I'm done. I can't do it. I lost every match. It was perfect. I was perfect. So that's what I just need to do. So then that the next year I try to do it from week 1, and that was a big mistake. So you can only do it once.
I mean, well, no, you got to do it with the superstition. I mean, like I told you, I've got a Bulldogs jersey that I've got sitting right in my drawer that I am not going to wash until after the grand final Saturday, and then it's going right in the washing machine as it should be. But until then, that does not get touched. Not at all.
Can't blame you.
Speaking of which, the reason the Bills lost week 1, I was at work on that Sunday. My husband did not put my son. I have him. So cute. My son has a little itty bitty baby Josh Allen jersey. He didn't put him in it.
Now,
I put Leo in the jersey this last Sunday, and we shut out Miami. I'm not saying there's a coincidence, but.
Well, speaking of different superstitions and things, this is actually, believe it or not, your third perfect segue in a row, because I do have a little something to ask you as we start to pour one out for the homers. Now, before I begin, that's going to make a reappearance.
Is that what we're doing? We're just grabbing stuff? Okay.
I want to ask, because I saw this very particular adorable little video that I'm hoping you do and recreate with Leo at some point. It was a group of Bills Mafia.
Oh, the little table.
Please tell me you're going to do that while he's little enough.
Homie weighs 30 pounds now, man. I used him as a machine gun today, though. So.
Well, I mean, you could get like a little bit of a bigger table since he's that big.
You know, we'd use a real full-size beer pong table. He's a menace.
Okay, so there you go. Go ahead. Since you're the one saying, oh, he broke the curse and all this and that.
He did break the curse. Only if you let me share it. If I recreate it, you got to let me share it.
Done. Done. If you do that, you send me the video, I will pour one out for the homers with that very video clip.
I think you should do it every single week. That should be the video clip that starts that segment.
If it's a good enough clip, that will be done.
Me slamming my 1.5-year-old into a table.
Don't slam.
Oh,
no,
just,
again, like they did.
Just nice and easy, and then speed it up so it looks like you slammed it. But
full thing.
Granted, if anybody makes any calls or anything, or we get canceled, it won't be my fault. So I'll feel better.
They'll be all right.
Yeah.
But
the kids bounce. It's all right.
Okay.
But I need the floor for a moment to properly pour one out for the homers. You see this pillow right here? This used to mean a lot more to me. A lot more. Still means a bit, but no. And for those of you on audio, that is my homemade, thanks to my loving sister, Miami Hurricanes pillow. For those who remember when Harry and I did the college football preview, we went down the schedule with our list of games and how many beverages we would consume. I noted this game in particular. You see the score at the bottom of the screen for our viewers. I said, if there was one game we have no business losing, that we're most likely going to lose and get our asses kicked, it's against Michigan State. Harry gave me shit because they were predicted to go last in the Big Ten East. They're 3-0. 3-0. Thanks to us. Derek King, I love you. I know you're not 100%. There's no way in 5 hells that you should be throwing the ball as much as you did. 59 times? No. Not acceptable at all. Too much pressure on you, even though you know you still got it. The turnover chain did not appear, as it could not appear. We did not force a single turnover. We were -4 in the turnover department. -4. Manny, come on. I'm reading the tweets. I'm hearing the calls. Everybody wants your head. I'm going to try to fend them off for you, but I don't think even a blowout win against Central Connecticut is going to help things out unless y'all really show up in the ACC this year. I'm a little nervous. I am mighty salty, and the salt get even bigger as the weeks come in. Now, for another college team, and one of the reasons why Harry is not here tonight, as you see another of the college scores going across the screen. Yeah, a 2-point conversion saved you, Kens.
Can't stop, won't stop. I've already said this.
See what I have to put. You see what I have to put up with every week, Randy. You see this?
Listen, I'm only here to help you not have to deal with 2 Bills fans after they get their first win. That's all I'm here for. I can't help you in college.
Well, I mean,
I hate that. I hate that. First win. It's the second game of the season. It's not like we played 13 games and we got our first win.
It's still the first win.
Game of the season. I know, but you say it so condescending.
Just because the Jets won't get their first for like 13 weeks, it's fine.
See, I even did you a favor by putting both the Jets and the Washington State
fucked yourselves
on the screen.
Y'all could have had your first win, but you fucked yourselves last season and got 1 fucking win and could have draft triple one.
2.
Thank you.
2 wins.
Was it?
2. Yeah. They beat Mayfield and the Browns like 2 weeks later.
Anyways, anything I always have to say about college football is roll tide.
And always for Harry's team, an unfortunate bit of loss. I'm sure he's going to expound back on that more. Look, they covered, so I don't know what you're doing with that. Okay, now with that second thing, granted, you have a husband, so any offers that will go on, that will have to be discussed at a very different time and a very different scope. But again, I digress. At least Harry will take pleasure in his Big
Ten.
In his Big Ten team, Penn State, they had the whiteout. Yes, you can see a lot of things about the calls and whatnot, but Nittany Lions still get it done at home, proving that they're a force to be reckoned with in the Big Ten. And, well, the less said about Washington State, the better. I mean, you couldn't even call this a coup.
Well, I mean, they were up 14-0 and then gave up 45 straight. But no, the team's a complete mess. The head coach is terrible. And it doesn't help that he refuses to get vaccinated and then refuses to talk about it. So half of his press conferences are about vaccinations, and that's all I have to hear about at work from the WSU beat guy. So it's just terrible. And they've already had 4 different quarterbacks in their 3 games. It's a complete mess.
Well, at least I can still love Rolo for his days at quarterback at Hawaii, so that helps. At least in my mind. But now we go on to the NFL. And if you don't mind, I'm going to have to take the floor again for a minute. Why? Why? Urban? Seriously, fucking why? I really couldn't explain Houston. Denver, I didn't expect a lot. With Teddy Bridgewater, as he proved, very capable quarterback. Why do you have Trevor throwing so much? I know you're a very up-tempo, offensively minded guy. Did I not tell you to have a come-to-Jesus moment with Darrell Bevell last week, huh? What happened to James Robinson? What happened to grinding out the clock? What happened to not throwing Trevor to the Wolves? Are you that enraged in things about losing? Are you really still smelling that USC job? Because, hey, You say, oh, you have no intentions. I'll see it when I believe it. I know your track record. Why do you have to do this to me? Why is it that everybody, when I tell them about my prediction and how I said this season, why is everybody still looking at me crossways? Why is everybody saying I have too much hope? Why, Urban? Just seriously, why?
That was a grand soliloquy, man. That was fucking mint. Beautiful.
I shouldn't have to be doing these soliloquies. I want to be doing pleasant, beautiful monologues. Ones where I feel like I can piss rainbows and fart clouds and come different
Butterflies,
levels
not
of
clouds.
sunshine. I want to be able to do these things when I come on during the week and do this podcast. I can't. I can.
Words today. I said the word soliloquy correctly.
Yes, you did, and it was very well done. Don't think I didn't notice. Very well done.
Thank you. I graduated high school.
With kickoff honors, let's say that. All right. So since I have two varying results from the AFC East right here, I'm going to step aside and briefly talk about the Jets horrors and the Bills making me look even more stupid when it comes to my picks.
Right. Well, here, I'll just get out of the way and get the Jets done with, because listen, no one
I
expected
don't like being on the screen by myself. Don't do that.
I'm not leaving. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying that as far as the Jets go, everyone expected this. Bill Belichick against rookie quarterbacks, of course, he's just going to eat them alive. I wasn't expecting Zach Wilson to throw 2 interceptions on his first 2 passes, but never thought this was going to be a game. I actually thank Zach Wilson for throwing those 2 interceptions, so I could just make sure that the TV was on the red zone the rest of the day and didn't really have to worry about it. It felt like last year where, oh, the Jets are playing. I don't care. I'm on the red zone. The only time I'm going to see them is when the other team is scoring, and then they have to show that play. So I still have hopes in this team. It's a very, very young team. Obviously, their average age is under 25. Zach Wilson's is going to go through their bumps. Every rookie quarterback is going through their bumps. I was impressed with Mac Jones just for his ability not to make those kind of mistakes and play within the system. So honestly, I've just gotten to the point as a Jets fan where it's just another Sunday where we hope to learn something. At least there's no Adam Gase on the team. So I'm happy, and just not as happy as you, Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that all too well. Being a Bills fan would be, it's another Sunday, you know? And I think with your guys' Mac Jones, like, playing against him, I think that's just a lot of Bill Belichick doing Belichick things with him. So, but y'all have a young team. I mean, you said the average age is under 25. So the best it can only go up from here.
Yeah,
it can't go down.
Honestly, I've said this to multiple people. I don't care even what the record is this year at all. They could win 7 games. They could win 1 game. They could win none. It's a young team with a lot of draft picks, with a whole new system. This is show me something by the end of the year that makes me realize the core is getting better, and that's all that matters.
And I say it, and I'll say it till my face turns fucking blue.
Please
people judge guys when they come off the draft, I think, entirely too harshly on their rookie year, especially quarterbacks. And I get you're elite in obviously high school and then college, but like the NFL is just that extra step. Just because people have a bad rookie year doesn't mean they can't cut it. It's such a learning curve between NFL and college. So I mean, your quarterback, he might have a shit fucking year, but that doesn't mean he's not NFL caliber. He might need that season.
And honestly, if you're a great quarterback and you were the top of college, you're getting drafted at the top by a really crappy team that's going to take a couple of years to go. Like, I was not sold on Josh Allen. We'll get to for Buffalo just the first couple of years, just because of his inaccuracies. They get Stephon Diggs in there, which really accentuates his ability to throw the ball downfield. And actually, that's what I got to ask you. Buffalo dominated. They destroyed Miami. But the one thing I noticed while watching this game is Josh Allen underthrew Stephon Diggs like 6 or 7 times from what I saw, and I was only watching on the red zone. So is that something that they're going to work on, or what did you see on the game? Because I'm sure you watched way more of it than me.
Yeah. So I don't want to make excuses. He did not have a great game. He didn't. Our defense ran that fucking game, and our defense did a good job with it. I don't know. Week before, he overthrew like a son of a bitch. So I don't know if something's off with him. I don't know if it's just, I'm going to say preseason, obviously not, but preseason jitters, getting into it again and trying to find his groove. And, he has Emmanuel Sanders now, and you have a new person. And it's just, I think he's still young. I mean, he's 24. I think he just turned 25, but he's 25 years old, but it's still young. It's his 4th year in the NFL. That's still like a young quarterback. And he performed amazing last year. And I think he has a lot of weight on his, and I'm not just running excuses down the book for him. He's still an elite quarterback. He's still in the NFL, but like, he performed so well last year. I think he feels very stressed out because he got us so close to the Super Bowl, which we haven't done since 94, 95, like that. I think there's just a lot of pressure on him because the city loves him. We love him. And he loves our city. And I feel like he just doesn't want to let us down. And I think that's in his head. So I think he just needs to find a groove, get back to doing what he was doing last year. Because we're watching 2019 Josh Allen right now. Not a terrible quarterback, but needs improvement. Mm-hmm. And you saw 2020 Allen, and he got it. Still needed improvement, but like the difference was phenomenal. So I think he just needs to find his groove again, because we cannot rely on our defense against Kansas City, against Tampa Bay,
No, absolutely. I thought overall for your team, it was a good bounce back. Obviously, with Tua going down, that offense completely imploded on itself. Not that I thought their offense was that great to begin with, but it's a good one. And listen, obviously, I'm a Jets fan, so I root against the Bills because it's division rivalry. But just mad props to this team. I've predicted on our sports report that Josh Allen would win the MVP. It's not been the best starts for that prediction, but I think, and I mostly predicted that because there's still not much of a running game. Zach Moss has looked good, I think, the first 2 games.
Yeah, he surprised me.
But there's still not much of a running game, so I still think it's going to be on Josh Allen, and he'll get into a rhythm eventually, I think, because as much as I have been against Josh Allen and not thinking he was elite, again, you get him a Stephon Diggs that can run under those balls. He just has to, like you said, he has to just believe in himself more and just throw it out there. I think he's trying to pinpoint spots and just like, no, you have Stephon Diggs. Throw it 60 yards down the field. He will go find it.
I think he plays a lot of heart, which that takes you the last 10%. He needs to believe in himself that first 90, because when it comes down to the wire, like he has it in him. But I think I said earlier, he just needs to get in his groove and needs like, it's weird as that, he just needs to believe in himself. I feel like he gets too frustrated when he does something wrong, and then he works himself up. Like, he's 25 years old. He's a young kid. He works himself up. I fucked up, and then thinks the rest of the game is just, lost. So I think Singletary, is going to have a pretty good, compared to last year, good year. I think our run game is going to progress, not be where it needs to be this season, but definitely better than last season. Diggs obviously can do Diggs things. I need Cole Beasley to pull his head out of his ass. For real. Mm-hmm. But, and then the one thing I wanted to touch on before we chime back in, I don't know if you paid attention to this part at all, but a healthy Matt Milano, god damn. That man is,
that one, but...
oh my God, that man is going to be unstoppable.
All right, Eric, get back in here.
Well, think of it this way, Randy. When you were looking at back and one last touch on the Jets' performance, 9 of Zach Wilson's first 11 passes didn't hit the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you messaged me that exact stat during the game.
Yeah, I mean, dare we say...
Actually, So we brought up the F word a few times on the show. The other positive is I had the Patriots defense in all 3 of my fantasy leagues because I knew they played Miami and the Jets and now New Orleans the first 3 weeks. So I knew interceptions were coming.
I mean, it's like you planned for. That particular squid bit. Yes. Now, as a caveat, you had mentioned 4 of those 11 passes were interceptions, but they didn't hit the ground. So if you've got someone, even especially on FanDuel or wherever else, pick the defense going against the Jets at least early on until Zach Wilson figures it out. You're going to have a good day.
Especially on Sunday against Denver. That is a tough defense, as you know. There it is.
Why? I'm just going to keep asking this question in perpetuity. Why?
Perpetuity.
Why? Yes, Kennedy, in perpetuity.
I don't know what that means, so.
If something is going on in perpetuity, it means it's going on forever, basically.
Does it? I'm a really good speller.
See,
beyond or other security with no maturity date. You have a really big vocabulary.
I have been told that a lot, and it's weird. That's why I get funny looks when I successfully answer Jeopardy questions. I can't help it. But thankfully, well, no, who am I kidding? I can't put away the salt because if you're looking at some of my predictions in my betting habits, especially on this show, there's one question that you really have to ask me.
Are you serious?
Serious? Are you serious? Oh, I was like, who's doing it?
Now, before I say this, just remember, all of these predictions are entirely for entertainment purposes. There might be a little bit of real money on the show if that happens to change hands or what have you. If you do, please remember, follow all the rules and your laws of your particular state. 21 means 21. And by all means, please gamble responsibly. When you do gamble responsibly, do not forget, hashtag #BetOnBovada. That being said, this past week in the standings, there was a little bit of good news. Kennedy, you and your bandit ways continue. Not only did you dig into the old school rule book, picking an unranked team to beat a ranked team, Country Roads took you home to not only an against the spread win, but a straight up win. West Virginia pulled it out against Virginia Tech. They covered what eventually was a -2, winning 27-21. Now, granted, you couldn't repeat that same luck by picking the Eagles, but you finished on a 500 week, leaving you 2-2 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. Now, of course, Harry being Harry, he picked the Giants in that Thursday night thriller. Even though he didn't get that win, thank you again, Dexter Lawrence, he managed to cover again. And even with your little baby Gator chomp, yeah, he went big, went homer, and it paid off. Plus 14.5. Gators didn't get the win, which is damn unfortunate, but he covered again. So while he was 0-2 straight up, 2-0 against the spread, leaving both of us in the dust, 2-2 straight up and 4-0 against the spread, and an incredible tiebreaker. Then there was me. And then there was me. I had faith in Virginia.
Pat you over here. Pat your You're back.
You
Sorry.
did it the right way. I can't ever.
Trust me. If you were looking at me 10 seconds before, I was like moving my head trying to figure
Well,
out
that's
which
why,
way.
real quick, Eric. That's why earlier y'all didn't notice. Well, y'all didn't notice, but you didn't say anything. I busted out laughing because there it is. Randy, you were like this, and like I felt insecure. Thought you were staring at me, but you weren't because you said your head turning. But like looking on the screen, it looked like you were like. I was like, why are you staring at me? Sorry. Go ahead.
There you go. I just stare at you some more.
I
For being 5'3", I got to move up to get up to your level, though. There you go.
I am 5'3". I just sit really close to the camera.
There you go.
No, this is actually helping me. I just sit back.
Eric just doesn't want to talk about his picks anymore. He's like, talk about
No,
whatever
I
you want.
really don't. I mean, for starters, I had faith in Virginia. Wahoo wah all the way, going as one of Harry's picks in the Coastal Division, North Carolina. That +8 was looking damn good for a while. But no. Couldn't get a fucking stop for all the time I preached you on defense to save your life. I blink. Next thing I know, it was a 59-39 L. And I'm thinking, you know what? Okay. I'm going to bounce back. Sunday happened. I said those lines were ass. I picked one of the lines that wasn't ass. Oh, no. 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 I don't know what I did to the football gods. I really don't. I damn sure don't want to do it again. Yeah, I picked Miami. I warned everyone I was picking Miami because I didn't like any of those other lines. I ask myself again, why? Why did Tua have to get hurt? Why did the offense have to go off? Why did Jacoby Brissett have to just go in and not show the capabilities that he flashed in New England and Indianapolis? Why? Needless to say, rough week for the Squid.
A little bit. Picks wise, teams wise, yeah. But you know what? I figured out you're saving it for Saturday.
Well,
you're saving all of the good luck for Saturday.
I've already got it. I had my bets in. If we were talking Aussie rules, I'd be flying high right now. I got a Victorian team winning the grand final already locked in. I got my dogs at great odds of futures bet winning the flag. I got another bet for them at only $2.20 winning the match. I feel damn good about those bets. Why can't that mojo come stateside? Just
I like the we got on.
So, starting off with Harry's picks as I scroll up, going to college. He's looking at what's going on down in Austin. Wouldn't you know, a team that was so bitten bound to join what they thought was a better conference? Well, they played against that better conference. Didn't work out too well for Steve Sarkisian and company. He's looking at the situation and he's like, you know what? There's just nothing there. So he wisely is picking Texas Tech +8 against the Longhorns. I think, honestly, he might have a little bit of mojo for this one. Well, because I've still got the salt here, and because I noticed a couple of different changes, Randy, you got a little bit of catching up to do, because I see you made not only a special guest survivor pick, but you got your own little bit here for Are You Serious? So see if you can bring your old ways back.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. Since you did your picks for us on R&R Sports Report, which, by the way, you were 0-2 here. You were 3-2 for us.
See?
So
I don't know what it is.
You and I were 3-2. Robert was 1-4. So you did all right with us.
You didn't suck, Eric.
If only, like I said, I don't know what it is with the football gods. I did well before. I did well in Australia. I do well on R&R. I will take a 3-2 week all day.
It's a win.
Oh,
But yeah, so I threw my picks in there just for fun. And yeah, I'm old school kickoff, I guess, technically, or middle school kickoff, because there were older school people than me. There was other people before me, and now there's people after me, I guess. So I'm middle. I don't know how this works.
I don't know either.
One of them was a Marshall fan. So looking at it, and we picked this game on R&R Sports Report, and I took the upset there. We will see how it goes, but it was a Thursday game. I'm going to take Marshall +7 against Appalachian State. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's a high scoring game. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. It's just, can they keep within 7 will be the big question.
I mean, I'm a little bit worried about this one because of a couple of weeks ago. What App State did and almost did. So, friendly little warning on that front.
Mm-hmm.
And to go back, I saw you pick for, again, your guest survivor pool, Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll take Cleveland against Justin Fields. I always forget what his first name is. But yeah, against Justin Fields in his first start, Kennedy and I were talking about rookie quarterbacks making mistakes. I think Fields is going to make them against a Cleveland team that is learning more and more that they run the ball and make sure Baker doesn't make mistakes. I think it's a safe pick.
That's a pretty safe pick. Now, I mentioned that Texas and Arkansas game. Kennedy?
I'm not wrong. And I'm never wrong. I'm usually never right either, though, so that's weird. But I'm going to take Arkansas over A&M. Why am I by myself? Stop putting me by myself.
Wait, what? You don't like when I do this? You're not a big fan, as it were?
I don't like it. Come back.
Well, Arkansas going into College Station, big win against the Texas team. Now to see their former huge in-state rivals of Texas A&M. And again, another real battle in that SEC West, +5.5. I get it. I'm liking this one.
Thank you.
Now again with my luck. All right. Baylor. I know it was Kansas. I know you're supposed to beat Kansas. But I went a little bit off the beaten path, and I got high hopes for you this season as well. Iowa State's vulnerable. Iowa State's beatable. They've been kind of iffy. And newsflash, you're at home. It's only +7. You got this. Please don't make me look even more stupid. You got this.
Congratulations to the Cyclones on their 27-point victory on Saturday.
Rancid Randy, do not start.
I'm back.
Okay?
Let's get all the podcasts that I used to be on in here.
Do not start. Should you be working on another bracket since you love them so much?
You have no idea what I have in the can. I got stuff ready. I got one for this show. Though it's kind of outdated now. It was before the season started. But I can make another one.
Somehow I see. I like you, but somehow I don't trust you. I like you, but with this,
is it because I put Lingo as a 10 seed?
Look.
I need
y'all
to stop making me laugh when I drink because it hurts.
You.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on before we lose Eric too. I apologize.
If you go back into the audio archives for Life is Like a Game show with the greatest of all time bracket, and yes, we do have a special edition planned for this week. Stay tuned for more details. You and your 710 fucking Sophie's Choice making me have motherfucker. I will never forget that. Ever. Okay? Just saying. Pepperidge Farm remembers, sir. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Just call me the champion of the 710 bracket. All right, there you go.
Now, NFL picks. Got a big NFL pick. Oh, if only it was an eligible game. So, speaking of Cleveland, thankfully, Gary's actually on my side with this one.
Is
I'm
Kennedy
going to go
okay?
ahead and drop a couple units right on Bovada just to really kind of sort and facilitate this a bit. Because he's seeing something in Justin Fields in his rookie start, and I'm going to be rooting extra hard for this one all of a sudden. I don't know why, but Chicago going into Cleveland at +7, you know what? That just got a little bit more attractive to me. I get it. I'm liking that pick a wee bit more now.
The anger is so great. I love every second of it. I've missed it. And I don't know what's happening over here. I don't have any idea what's happening over here. I don't know what even broke her.
You need an extra second to make your pick. Shall we go to Randy's pick first? You need a minute.
He was so aggressive.
Go back. Your homework assignment for the week. Go back and listen to that episode. Okay? Again, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Life is Like a Game show, the greatest of all time bracket. The first round in particular. Go back and listen to that episode, and you'll see why.
I was called names that I never even knew existed.
I can't get it together.
You see how you're going like this on air, what you're doing right now? He didn't know shit. I had to roll my headphones, get up,
He left.
grab a drink. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Should I do my pick real quick while we
Yes.
let Kennedy somehow find a way to
What are
find
you
her center?
doing?
All right, I'm taking Green Bay over San Francisco. Call it the Aaron Rodgers tryout to try to sell himself to the 49ers in the offseason. They looked really good on Monday. Yes, San Francisco is playing well. They're 2-0, but they freed Aaron Jones. I think we're going to see more of that. Give me the Packers +3.5.
Again, he's not trying to sell himself to San Francisco. I've officially dubbed it this. Aaron Rodgers, fuck you, tour 2. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No.
He's going to have a great game, a great season. Then he's going to go south to Culver City, be on Jeopardy, win me another bet on Bovada, and make my life much more comfortable. This is what's happening. Oh, so now you're silent. Now you're okay. Now I see you much more composed.
What do you want from me right now? It's not Aaron Rodgers. See, I don't want to get riled up. It's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. Fuck you, too, whatever. Fuck. So it's not going to be that. So I don't think he's going to shit the bed on purpose, but I really don't think he fucking cares. The way they treated his players on offseason, the way they fired people, the way they treated Aaron Rodgers, they want to include him in draft and fucking whatever. They treated him like he was a normal player, and he's not a normal player. He's one of the best of the fucking best that's ever going to do it. And he's over it, which I would be too. If you get to that point, you look at Tom Brady, see all Tom Brady has done. Aaron Rodgers had that potential, and Green Bay never loaded the fucking gun for him, ever. And then his last season, which I thought was supposed to be last season, it was a big fuck you to him. And now he's still kind of stuck because I think he wanted it. But everything that happened in the offseason, y'all saw it. Everything that happened in the offseason, he doesn't care, but he's in a contract, I'm assuming. Yes, I don't fucking know. He's still in a contract. He has to play. But he doesn't want, it's love, yeah. He doesn't want love coming up under him, stealing his fucking thunder. So he's still going to do Aaron Rodgers things. But I don't think he's going to do it to the point, like, he's going to do Aaron Rodgers things, but not like Aaron Rodgers things. Because he doesn't fucking care anymore. They treated him like fucking shit. He's going to give them a nice, mediocre, make it to playoffs, fuck y'all, fuck Green Bay, fuck management, have fun with love. I think that's what's going to happen.
All the more reason why he's going to do this and then some. And like, see, this is what y'all had. Y'all get to see me on TV at 7 or 7:30.
That's not a fuck you tour, though. That's not a fuck you tour. A fuck you tour was, hey, I'm going to win this, show y'all what you could have had, and now I'm out. We could have had fucking seven Super Bowls like Brady did, 8, whatever the fuck. I lost count. Don't care. We could have had that, but y'all didn't load the clip. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think he's just going to get them right here, be like, y'all had it, now suffer. Here's love.
We'll see. We'll see. But in the meantime, your pick for this week.
Oh, I don't remember. Hold on. Wait, one. Oh, no. for are you serious?
Yes.
We already talked about it, I thought.
Not this yours?
Yeah.
Your NFL pick?
Oh, no. This says Cincinnati over Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I can read.
See? You can words. You can read. You can spell. Randy, she's growing up.
Oh. It sounds like he said she's growing up and up with me. I need to go to bed. I need to not be here tonight. Anyways, Cincinnati over Pittsburgh because 1, fuck Pittsburgh. 2, Joe Burrow. So that's all I got.
Oh, so you're not going to say anything about any of his body parts?
He got a shot in his knee. He limped off the field fucking 2 weeks ago. He didn't heal long enough. What do you want from me about Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow's a fucking angel. He didn't deserve to get hurt last year. He didn't deserve to be out all of last season. No, and he's gonna come back.
You're the one I hear Taysom Hill this. To long live Taysom Hill. Ass made of gold. Now you're saying this about Joe Burrow?
No. Taysom,
I don't hear this level of love.
Taysom Hill could father my children. Joe Burrow is just like I wanted to see you fucking succeed, homie. You deserve better than what happened to you. Don't, because Taysom Hill's eventually going to see this, right? He's going to see this.
I think there's proper connections in his Twitter handle.
And I want him to know that I will actively, and my husband knows this, I will actively leave my husband to marry Taysom Hill. So your ass gold dust is still here in my heart. Joe Burrow is just wonderful, though. NC.
Okay, and see, you got that. That's another little thing that I can go ahead and isolate for you. So I'm going to try to have a little bit more editing fun with this.
You're welcome.
As far as with my pick, since we're on a whole big fuck you special, I mean, I'm not even going to say what I would normally say because of my track record with last week and everything, but Kansas City, fantastic team, but fuck you, Robert Taylor. Division rival, this team's played them tough. I know it's at Arrowhead, but Chargers plus 5.5? Given recent history, I like that number. I like those chances. I'm just saying, weird things can happen, especially at this early point of the season. Well, wouldn't you know it? I think we've just about wrapped things up for this week. Have you survived, Kennedy? Okay, that's not necessarily quite. She's close. Randy, as I've said, now you know what happens when the doors open.
Yeah, the show's a little different now, but that's all right. We had fun.
Well, for those of you who happen to be watching, we have our Twitter handles. Randy, go ahead. Where can people find you elsewhere?
Yeah, right now you can find me R&R Sports Report on Facebook. That's basically the main part for non-local people. So that's just where I send you. You can also watch it on YouTube, but just look up R&R Sports Report. We go every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. as long as volleyball doesn't get in the way.
6 to 8 p.m. Pacific, 9 to 11 Eastern, 4 to 6 p.m. Hawaiian.
There you go.
Just saying. Kennedy, while you still have a slight modicum of sobriety, where can people find you elsewhere?
One, I don't appreciate that you don't have that much faith in me. Two, Eds_Ken on Twitter or Ken_Eds, basically anywhere else. TikTok. What's the one with the pictures? Snapchat. That's basically all. That's all I'll add you on.
You're asking Eric which are the ones with the pictures, and then he's gonna go about his OnlyFans. So I was not gonna.
I have too many identifying tattoos for OnlyFans. I wouldn't be able to get away with it. So.
Well, I mean, not to mention with the way that OnlyFans is going anyway, Fansly, as we all know, for those of know,
there you go.
that's the place to be.
Randy's you're getting reeled in tonight.
I'm out of the loop on what sites are needed to be go to.
Well, I mean, there was a whole big thing with processing companies and a whole big to-do with banks saying, "Ooh, we're not going to do this with these workers." They can all go fuck themselves. But again, that's an episode for a different podcast. And besides, again, you don't have to show all of your tattoos. We mentioned what we were talking about with your feet.
Okay, the only thing that's not tattooed is my right leg. So we're really out of body parts here that aren't identifiable. And my right leg, I feel, can only do so much for so much of an audience. So.
Okay, going to have to think carefully as there's going to be some special off-air questions. However, before we get to that point, naturally, at Squid Sports Head on Twitter, if you want to see me do some live tweeting, which I have been doing a little bit more, I plan to live tweet the grand final originally, but plans have gone a little bit awry, so I will not be able to. But trust me, the live tweeting game has not gone away. But if you want to talk about tutoring or other things or see me somewhat start some flame wars, find me on Facebook at Eric Watkins. You know the drill. Guy and recliner with a wine, what have you. Now, granted, as we have been talking about, if you desire something a little extra spicy, slide into my DMs on Twitter. Undergo the proper, strict, and thorough vetting process. You will gain access to my Snapchat, Telegram, Kick, Dark Twitter, Fansly, whatever particular platform of that nature that I happen to be on. And I've been delving into a little bit more, especially some very interesting corners of Reddit that I have made my own. But as always, this plug brought to you by the fine folks at Rick's T&T LLC. Commercial, of course, coming soon. Still, tutoring services available, getting pretty popular. We've also got wedding officiating services and tax consultation services available. Wedding officiating and notary public services available in the state of Florida.
Do it.
Well, of course, I'm getting to that because you have indeed officially been listening to the Kickoff, a presentation of the W2M Network, of course, online at W2Mnet.com. For if you want the video, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. However, if you are of the audio-only variety, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Podbean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Overcast. And guess what? See?
What she was freaking out about?
See?
She was so excited. I didn't know what it was. She hyped it up. She was chanting at me to do this.
I set her up as clean as I possibly could. Incredible. Like some of the softballs that you and Robert were going up against.
Wait, I got it.
I
got it. Dude, send it. I got it.
Hey, shall I give her another chance, Randy?
Yes, please do.
Hey, Kennedy, guess what?
No.
See?
No, that's it.
I can't.
That's it.
See?
Yeah, we're done.
We tried. You know, normally this would put you with Dick of the Week honors, Kennedy. I'm just saying. You're saying.
I was really excited. It was my first time.
I tried. But as we're wrapping up, since Kennedy is still broken, Randy, who's your Dick of the Week?
I couldn't find anybody, so I'm going to go back old school. He's not doing anything anymore, but Adam Gase, you're still my Dick of the Week.
I love him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Buffalo played against Adam Gase multiple times every year. Of course he loves him.
Fair point. Kennedy, who's your Dick of the Week?
We didn't talk about it, but Alvin Kamara, I have a personal beef with you, and I know you'd beat my ass, but I will happily fight you with both hands right now. Fucking 7 points.
Right.
I mean, Alvin Kamara, if this finds its way to you, I have a proposition about a very nice, potentially very lucrative mixed wrestling match. We'll talk details if you're interested.
I'll do it.
See? I mean,
that way.
Now, for me personally, my Dick of the Week, for people who can't even go ahead and get closings right after they ask about it and set everything up, and of course, returning the favor. Really, Kennedy? Really?
I was really excited.
So if you're excited, you should be prepared.
Spotify's here.
But
now edit it so it sounds great.
Yeah, but she didn't even whisper it, and I don't have that whole editing hoodoo magic. It be gone.
Spotify's here.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't. There are no guarantees, ladies and gentlemen, that we'll be able to fix that in post. If you happen to get the audio version of this podcast,
I just thought that's how you should have just ended the show. That's how you should just end it. She finally nails it. We're done.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I am not leaving here without letting Mark Lamping know again. As long as you are still employed by the Jacksonville Jaguars, as long as I still see your fat fucking ass around here, you are always going to be my Dick of the Week. All you have to do is quit or get fired. You will escape. Even if you don't consider this the seventh circle of hell. Damn it, I'm going to make it that way for you. You just go, all will be in peace, and I will move on to someone else. Sorry, Mark. You're still my guy. But with all of this, while I have everybody at least somewhat composed, for the on assignment Harry Broadhurst, who will return next week, for Kennedy Eddings, for Randy Isbell, this is Eric Watkins, and you have been listening to the Kickoff, presentation of W2M Network, online at W2Mnet.com. Hopefully, all will be right in the world when we see you next week.